Hello, everybody. This is Sharonda, and this is my podcast, Spiritual Sense. Today is Friday, which is February the 18th, and I am recording this Spiritual Sense daily tarot card reading for today. I'd like to start off by saying that this podcast is for entertainment purposes. That means you come here because you have an interest in the occult. I discuss topics in regards to curses, hauntings, angels, demons, spirit guides as well. And if you go on to my YouTube channel, which is also entitled Spiritual Sense, you will see where you can view previous visual presentations that I've done in regards to, the supernatural and paranormal, as well as you can actually listen in if you don't want to, go on Spreaker. I also have it linked to where you can view certain presentations, or you can actually listen in as well. Okay? So, let me proceed. So, I like to say, Father, Supreme Being of all being. I don't know what this reading is on right now, but I do ask for clarity, insight, knowledge, and capability in regards to this reading. Out of 10 readings, 3 to 4 times out of 10 readings, I get led by spirits from the other side that has transitioned over. And so let me proceed. So I ask for clarity, insight, wisdom, and capability as I do this reading. I also like to pay homage to the Orishas, Basset, Yemaya, Shango, and Osiris. You could call upon these deities and times to assist you with things such as knowledge, wisdom, capability, understanding. And so let me proceed. Now, when I do my tarot card reading, there are a number of spreads that you can do when you get off into tarot card reading. The spread that I favor the most is the Celtic Cross, which is a 6-card spread. It consists of 6 cards in the middle and then 4 additional cards. Card 1 being on the situation, person, or some type of insight or clarity. Card 2 being the obstacle or barrier or hindrance. Card 3 is what you're trying to attain or what's above this situation. Card 4 being the reason or the root of the issue. Card 5 being what's occurring or the near past. Card 6 being what's occurring or the near future. Card 7 being the attitude. Card 8 being what is surrounding, like what do you sense around this person. Card 9 being hopes, fears, and dreams, and card 10 being the outcome. Oftentimes, if I am a little fuzzy about the reading, I may do a 1, 2, 3, 4, or even a 5-card spread for more additional outcome, okay? So let me proceed. I have the cards. I've actually taken a portion of the cards because with the AE weight cards, I want to say it comes with either 92 or 94 cards. I can't remember. Maybe 96 cards. So what I did is I just took out a few of the cards, and I'm going to proceed to pull 10 cards from those cards. Okay. So we have 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So bear with me just a moment. And I'm going to spread those cards now. Okay, so we have card 1. Right now I feel as though because of what I'm dealing with, I feel like many people are dealing with this right now. Pressure pressure to move, pressure to support other people's agenda right now. Because I have number one, which is the Eight of Cups. Do not allow someone to pressure you to do things that you do not want to do, which is going to be lucrative and beneficial to them. You have to work on your own timing. Now, hear me out. I've said before, you work on God's time. But if the will is not there, don't let someone force you to do something that you're not comfortable with doing. Simple as that. Card 2, tolerance. Right now I feel as though, because I have the temperance card, which is the obstacle. I feel as though right now, tolerance are building right now across the board. I mean, this is everywhere. The tolerance is building in terms of people feeling the need to want to get you to forefront their cause while they sit back and profit off of that. There's nothing wrong with, being supportive, but you have to understand, you can't make somebody do something that they do not want to do. And if they're not ready to do it, now trust and believe it. It takes faith. And oftentimes your faith will be tested. And, this is to forefront you to get up and to do something. I understand this. So I'm not saying that, when all else fails, you fall on the wayside. No. What I'm saying is, in your due time, don't let nobody force you to do something that you do not want to do. Okay? Card 3, we have Six of Swords. Now, if you look at the Six of Swords cards, is a man that's, he's paddling the boat. And then there's a woman and a child sitting beside her with swords around. So, I think what is going on is a lot of people right now, I feel as though they're in a situation that was being led by outside forces or stimulus. And in essence, they felt trapped. And they wanted to monitor. When you begin to understand this is a ploy to control people. And this is why you have a lot of crime and injustices that are being played in a lot of communities right now, particularly urban communities. When a person feels as though that someone is trying to manipulate them for their cause and force their agenda and their concerns upon them, you would get that resistance, is what I feel. So right now I feel as though, as I mentioned before, we are in a spiritual battle. Okay. And once the eyes have been opened and you're, aware to see that, you will understand why the things in life happens as they do, such as crime and, many disparities that we see in our communities and many other communities around not only the country, but around the world. Card 4, I have the root of the issue, the Fool card. Oftentimes when I get the Fool card, that's in relation to deception. That's what that is. I feel like things are unraveling right now because a lot of things were being displayed or presented by way of deception, is what I feel. Meaning deceiving certain spirits in order to make things more lucrative for someone else's cause and agenda, is what I feel. Card 5, Two of Wands. Two of Wands cards has a man that holds up a globe, and he sits on looks like he's sitting on top of a building overlooking. So I feel as though this is something that is transpiring around the world, is what I feel. Like a lot of thirsty people are looking to profit off of the suffering of people. That's what I feel. Card 6, King of Swords. I feel as though I mentioned a couple of episodes ago that there was someone that was in a position of authority that I feel like was being led by a demonic spirit, and that person was a depopulationalist. Well, I feel as though this has come back up in this reading today because I have the King of Swords. Right now, I feel as though there's someone that is in a leader type of leadership type of position that wears a uniform is actually a depopulationalist, is what I feel. Depopulationalist is what I meant to say. I honestly feel as though these are the things that God puts before us to test us, to see who's able to recognize and realize what we're dealing with right now. I honestly do. Card 7, I have justice. Attitude. This person can very well be in law enforcement. They can very well be in some type of court or corrections type of setting, is what I feel. Let me also state that this podcast is for entertainment purposes. So, there's people that come to mind. It could be applicable to even my local area. It could be applicable to many areas. Okay? But this is how God will enlighten you to know what you are dealing with. This is the test. And oftentimes people, when they are programmed, they're programmed to where they protect themselves, because when Satan become aware that you are knowledgeable of his cause or her cause, they will try to cause pain and suffering to you. So you got to ask God to seal you and protect you and cover you during these times. And many times it may, be that, you remain quiet, or you even remain inside and keep low key. But you would know, you would see it in the spiritual sense. You would see it, and it would become apparent to you when there is a legion or a group or a tribe, that feels that way, that feels that same way. It will become very apparent to you. You got to play along with it, because if Satan truly knows that you are aware of his and hers capability, they will try to harm you. So, as I sit here and I gain insight and clarity on this situation, they sit back and they study you. And they already have it set up as to what they're going to do to you. So we do these rituals for protection, to guide us and shield us. I feel as though this is how a lot of, God forbid, people get in relationships or marriages that they are in. It's what I feel. Because of fear. Someone being forced to do things they don't want to do. And I think that's what, RAPE comes from. In a sense, it's in a spiritual sense to use that word. Like you feel as though that's what you are. Because you are forced to do things that is contrary to what you want to do. So this is where you got a lot of this resistance and negative energy that comes about. You cannot force someone to do something that they're not ready to do. If a person truly desires to do something, they will do it. You cannot force somebody to be something that they don't want to be. Plain and simple. And this is why I feel as though you find a lot of apathy and a lack of motivation and drive and aspirations that transpire in a lot of these communities, because people feel as though that you should be a fool. Honestly. That you should be a fool for their cause. That is not God. That is not of God. And I feel as though this is what happened during those times, as they mentioned, with the Christians and, Christianity and things of that nature, because I feel as though, I don't want to make this a biblical podcast because I'm not a biblical person, but I feel as though you'll be very surprised who Christ is in a situation. Because my take on that is you will be put up on display and made as an example. And this is how you would know who is aware, like who can spiritually see it and know it for what it is. Again, as I mentioned, angels and demons are one and the same. The greatest trick the devil ever pulled is convincing the world he did not exist. He's going to come to you, or she's going to come to you as if they are all right, everything's together, they're in order, this, that, and the other, and you will be very surprised. Card 8. So I have the moon card. So, if you ask God, the supreme being, for clarity, understanding, insight, and wisdom, it's going to be apparent to you as to what is transpiring right now. I feel as though it's a spiritual battle. I feel as though it's a battle of the sexes. I believe it's a battle of race. It's a battle of age. I mean, all of the things that you see, mentioned in regards to the things that are displayed even on the TV screen. People, argue about some of the same things. Looks. Vanity, weight, race, ethnicity. You come from here, you speak this way, you don't speak that way. That's what we are dealing with right now. And so I feel as though, in order to forefront some commoncy and some normalcy is what I'm trying to get at. Oftentimes people are put in situations that they truly don't desire to be in. And as a result, you would get that resistance. And that's where a lot of confusion comes out into place or manifests into the atmosphere, because what is being said and what is being done are two different things. Everybody are not on one accord. Now, with common sense and common knowledge, we all know you don't get out here and try to harm the next person or try to, take from the next person. We all know these things. But I'm speaking in terms of when you are trying to force somebody to do things that are going to benefit them. That's wrong. I feel. Okay. Card 9. 8 of Wands. So I feel as though a lot of this energy is letting me know that a lot of this energy that is coming out in the atmosphere is coming from spirits from the past. Because I have 8 of Wands, which is coming from the left, which is the what I will relate to as being the past. I feel like this is a lot of energy that is transpiring from the past. Like, this is the cycle of life. This is how it happens. This is it. And oftentimes that cycling of that energy manifests every so often, even in your everyday practices. And so things that are being written, people don't realize that they had to write the text in such a way to manipulate those spirits and to deceive those spirits. And once you begin to summon those spirits around, they fall down and they're looking to kill, steal, and destroy. So that's why you have a difference in languages. It's telling you, say one thing and do something else. Because when those spirits manifest out of that time and space into this time and space, they only know to do what they're groomed to do. It's the point. Many people haven't grasped that understanding. And so when you don't truly know, you force those spirits to come in and infiltrate into our time and space to do a reenactment to enlighten you what they was truly talking about and what they really meant. What it really meant is what that is. God will show you by way of this time and space. So you will begin to understand why they say separate church from state. That means do not pray for something that you truly don't desire for. That you truly are not ready for. In other words, don't call upon my name in vain just to look good. Don't do it. Because when you begin to do that, those spirits will manifest in. And it's hard to contain them. And so as we sit here and pay attention to things that transpire in our everyday walks of life, you will begin to see it even in, our physical sensibility. By way of the robocalls and the always knocking on the door and the mail and the this and the that. It's always something. If you did this, they got something to say. If you did that, they got something to say. If you did that, they got something to say. If you did this, you got something to say. You did that, they got something to say. No matter what, they want robots. And if you sit back and watch, a lot of the things that you see that has manifest in our physical space came by way of mockery. They will never be satisfied, is the point. And once you have been put in that mode, in that sensibility, you will see it clearly. You will see it and you will understand it clearly. And as I mentioned before, they're not happy. Many of them were not happy. They never lived a happy life. And they're not happy in the afterlife. God will make that apparent to you. Card 10, I have the star card. So, oftentimes when you use psychology, you got to be careful as to how you use psychology. Because if they feel like you're mocking them, they'll be quick to hurry up and get rid of you. So we have the star. Fallen angels is what that is. Those are fallen angels is what that is. They manifest in our time and our space. The only thing they're concerned about is doing. They're not concerned about nothing else. Plain and simple. These are the same spirits from time ago that has showed back up in this time and this space. In this physical sense of the matter. Okay. So I think that was a really good reading that I needed to do. I do. And oftentimes when I get out of my character, do something that is contrary to what I'm commonly do or feel or think, that's God letting me know it's a message that I need to convey. And so when I come on here to do my tarot card reading, I didn't even use my Florida water. As a matter of fact, I sprayed earlier. So I didn't actually spray over these cards today, but it was previously. And I feel like that was a good reading. So right now, we don't want to force anything on anybody. Right now, we don't. If a person truly does not desire to do something, or they're apprehensive about doing something, it could very well be that it's not a good time at this point in time. If a person truly, you would know the difference when a person is apprehensive and when a person is anxious about something. Like when a person is anxious or about something or has some sense of anxiety, it just could be, annoying. Like their thirst is there and the hunger is there, but I'm new to this. Then you got apprehension where they're not able to do it because of other means. So you would know the difference between the two. Okay. So I thank you for tuning in to this episode of Spiritual Sense. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, you're more than welcome to comment below. Until then, you have a safe and wonderful day. Good day.